For those just starting out, to those who built their reputation in the detail industry, navigating the course is a daily grind. This is Play-by-Play with industry professionals, tackling topics and offering tips to help improve your game plan. Now, here's your play-by-play.
All right. What's up,
guys.
everybody? We got your lunch break play-by-play. Of course, I'm Dustin Jackson here with Lexi.
Hey, y'all.
And we are missing one of our fellow teammates, our podcaster, Mr. Ryan. He's not with us today. He's out dealing with some family stuff. And if everybody can keep him in your thoughts and prayers.
Absolutely.
And we're going to miss him today, but the show must go on.
And he wanted to. He was so excited about having Billy Smith from
Yeah.
Akron Pro Detailing on. They have such a cool relationship. And I know he's definitely going to hate that he wasn't here to talk to Billy.
He is. And, I love to see them two interact.
Yes.
But you know what? We'll work all that out. We'll have him back on eventually, too. So that way Ryan can do this all over again.
That's right.
But it's awesome. We're excited about having Detail Billy on.
That's right.
And but before we get to all that, what are we eating today?
Hey, we are going to be having some treats from a little pub down the street called Lucky's Irish Pub and Grill.
Yeah.
The restaurant has Irish staples like corned beef and cabbage, as well as your standard American burgers. And I believe Ryan was going to try a traditional Irish dish, some shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie.
That's right.
The meat and taters, my favorite. That's I think I can eat his portion, but you know what?
No, Dustin, you can't. What you got coming up? I think didn't Melanie say you were on a diet?
I'm on a diet. And reason I'm on a diet is I'm taking my wife on her annual birthday cruise, and we take the boat and we leave from our house and we cruise across Mobile Bay down to Gulf Shores Orange Beach
awesome.
area
Yeah.
and hang out. But chances are I won't have my shirt on because I'm on the boat in the sun. I got to get some sun on this chest.
A little birthday surprise.
That's right. So I'm trying to thin it down a little bit, trying to get in shape for this trip. So I'm on.
Well, I'll take one and I'll eat the shepherd's pie.
Right,
and I know Ryan is going to be super jealous because he loves it so much.
Well, listen, okay, but before we get to all this food talk and before we get to bring Mr. Detail Billy on, I got a topic I want to talk about. This is something that's kind of divided the detail community.
Yep.
And I think that it's a good enough topic that there's arguments for both sides.
Right.
But this is online booking.
Yep.
And it seems like you got half the detailers that say it's absolutely wonderful. We love it. I wish we could do more of it.
Right.
And then you got the other half that say absolutely no way, impossible.
And then you do have some folks who are in between. And they're like,
they don't know.
I'm not really sure.
They don't know.
And I don't know if it's worth my time.
Right. And rightfully so, because, the platforms in which we've been using to allow online booking have not been great.
Yeah. The tools available just
yeah.
haven't gotten the job done.
They haven't. And so it's got a bad taste in some people's mouth. There's people that tried it and that's understandable, but times are changing.
Absolutely.
And but one of the main arguments that people or that detailers are using, some of the ones that we've heard, is this fixed pricing. They say, well, if I offer online booking, then I have to put all my pricing up there and it never changes. And now I got the customer thinking that they're going to get one thing for one price and it just don't work. And I just don't believe that's the case.
Yeah. A lot of them say, hey, Lexi, the way I do my packages and pricing, the way I quote my customers is I have to look at the vehicle first.
Right.
And understandably so. We know that you have to check out the condition that, when they say their car's dirty, dirty is relative based on your definition.
It is. And
absolutely.
And listen, like the thing is it's an estimate. And this gives the customer some idea of what you're going to charge. No different if they send you a text or if they call in, they can view it online. And the beauty of our software, which we don't hardly ever pitch on the show, but the difference in our software and other softwares is that it's based on vehicle size and conditions. Yep. So they can plug in their information. And now the pricing, the beginning or the starting at pricing is specific to their vehicle type. So that allows you to get even more definitive with your pricing or your estimates, even closer than just saying, okay, if you have a small car, this is what it is, medium size and a large size.
And as you can see on the screen right there, it's kind of scrolling through how our packages are laid out on the software. And one of the coolest things is the long description where you can use condition of the vehicle and time parameters and wording that you would normally use on a phone call to direct that customer to a package. And the customer can self-shop and be able to add additional services on. And it just lays it out in a way, because we took the time to create something specifically for the detailing industry, not taking another product to try to put it towards
retrofit.
Yes.
I refer to that description that you're talking about. It's like my 24-hour salesman. It's out there to steer my customers towards a package one way or the other, with words, because we're not there talking to them most of the time.
That's right.
And it sells my package. And we use things such as time. How long's it been since your car's been detailed?
That's right.
You know, are you interested in getting scratches out? Are you just wanting it shiny again? You know,
we do also say what's not included. I mean,
Absolutely.
on our description packages, it says, you know, this is not for XYZ.
Right. Yeah, we eliminate some of those too. You know, so the argument that it's, all my fixed pricing is out there, that's just not true. We can debunk that myth, because fixed pricing exists no matter what. And we know that, you know, as a detailer, if you're the only one, because this is one of the arguments too, if you're the only one that
doing the pricing, you can't grow.
Right.
How are you going to grow?
If you're the only person that can give prices to everything that comes on your lot, then you will be the only person that does that. So you have to get in the mindset that says, how do I take what I have up here? Because let's acknowledge the fact that it is complex. Pricing is complex. And these guys that are doing it, you know, and pricing every job, I mean, there's a lot upstairs to get.
And they've studied. I mean, they've looked at their market. They've found something that works. I mean, pricing is not something to scoff at. We know that there's a lot of work that goes into that.
Right. There is, but it's possible.
It is
if
possible.
a brain surgeon can give you an estimate on brain surgery, I'm pretty sure detailers can tell you how much it is to wash your minivan.
You know, and there's other arguments too of just, you know, I do my packages a certain way. I don't offer things the same way other detailers do. And we understand that, you know, and speaking to our software specifically, it's all about how we lay out the packages, how we lay out the prices. I mean, Billy's going to come on in a little while. And I personally know that when Ryan started talking to Billy in the first place, you know, Billy was very apprehensive on whether or not this would work for him.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was conversation. And we know the value of that and spending the time to say, hey, man, I understand. This is your business. This is your baby. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what the software does. And let's make sure we're a good team together.
Yeah. And that's something that we do really well, and not tooting our own horn here, but let's just call it what it is. We do a good job on the front end of making sure that you're ready for software, to make sure
before you sign up for your trial,
that it makes sense. Yes. I mean, you know, we looked at some numbers on our conversion rate from trial to paid users, and what are we running, like 90%?
We're at 90%, which is crazy.
That's
I've been
insane.
in, you know, sales management for over 12 years, and that conversion rate is just unheard of.
It is.
It really is. And I think it has to do with the fact that we really care. You know, we're a detail shop. We understand what goes into it, and we want to help small businesses grow. And, you know, Billy, the growth that he's experienced,
I'm sure
he
he's going to be
attributes a lot of it, you know, to Detail Bookie, which is a blessing.
I'm sure he's going to be willing to talk all about it. Now, so as far as, you know, this online booking concerns, you had some other issues that, you know, that you've been hearing people say as you're telling them about online booking, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of different arguments out there. Fixed pricing was one of them, the estimates, being able to follow up with customers.
Accurate information. So customers given accurate information.
Customers not putting the correct information or lying. You know, that's a big thing.
You know, and here's how we speak to that. If they call you, how do you know they're not lying if they call you? How do you know they're not lying through text message?
And I don't necessarily know if it's the customer lying, because I think about myself before I was around detailing companies, right? And I think about my education and understanding vehicles that I didn't really know what I was looking for. Correct. You know what I mean? And if there's conversation that can help steer them in that way, and because of the language on the software, it's more like an estimate. You know what I mean?
And, you know, here's something else to that. And then I brought this up in another podcast. I think it was Pints and Polishing that I was on.
I think so too.
And it's how many customers we use that we have rebook. So we're both like 40% of our customers or 38% of our customers rebook. Well, if I've trained that customer the first time on what we do and our process and how we do it, what keeps that customer from going back and being able to select a package that they want online? Now, I don't have to reteach that customer every time they want to book that job. They can go to our booking site and simply reselect whatever they had last and book it again. And that's a conversation that we don't have to have. And that takes 30 to 40% of our phone calls off the girls up front and gives us more time to get better at what we do.
And that's book job without having to invest any more of your employees' time, having conversations, educating that customers. I mean, keeping your customers,
Mm-hmm.
you know, retention of your customers cost a whole lot less than acquiring new ones.
Absolutely.
And so
retention is always cheaper than acquisition.
that's right.
So what about, and I know that Ryan had a story here that he was going to talk about, and it was the competitors' pricing.
Yeah.
And because he had the guy that was really concerned about, you know, was it competitors? Yeah.
Yeah. As far as like price shopping. I mean,
that's right.
I know that one of our Detail Bookie customers, the detail dudes, right? When they move shops, his competitor actually called and like reported them because they didn't have a business license.
Right.
Like in certain areas, people are just relentless. It's a real thing.
It's a real concern.
And they do call and they shop pricing. Oh, but I don't think having an online booking and having your prices available to your customers that's convenient to them, you know, I don't think
the good outweighs the bad,
yeah,
right?
You know,
I'd rather 3,000 of my customers be able to easily access my pricing than to hide it from one competitor or two competitors.
If your pricing is on your website, on your Facebook page, if you're giving it out over a phone call, what's going to stop that person? I know whenever I was shopping competitors at AT&T and whenever I did a cell phone repair business, I literally, if I knew they would know me, I would ask somebody else, hey, can you call them and get a price on this? Because I wanted to know.
Truth is, when we all got started, we started somewhere, right?
Yep.
And chances are you called one of the shops and you found out pricing.
Yep.
Okay. Like you did it discreetly. You figured out a way to get their price and you did whatever you had to do to get your starting point. Now they're going to these Facebook groups and asking, hey guys, how much for this? How much for that? So the pricing is out there. You're not going to hide it from anybody. So why, instead of making it difficult for your customer to find your pricing, to hide it from one guy?
That's right.
Why not display it proudly? Why not say, hey, here's what it is. Here's what it's going to cost you. Give your customers that information and let them go to work and don't worry about that. You know, when we talk about competition here at EasyN and other detailers, we don't even consider them competition.
I mean, the mindset around here is control the things that you control. If you are the best at what you are doing, if you put your 100% in, then it doesn't matter what your competition's doing,
going on around
because your customer that you're servicing, they could, you know, come to them with a great deal. They could say, hey, $20. You know what I mean? But if your service is better and the experience they get and they feel like they couldn't get that service anywhere else, and you know, guy down the street is $20 and you're $100. I mean, I know customers would pay that. I would pay that.
They know what they're going to get.
The service.
They know what they're going to get. And we don't even call them competitors. I think about Delta Bay. He's a good friend of mine, Rob.
Yep.
Okay. And he's my competitor.
Yeah. We mentioned that he came in the shop earlier this week and bought some ceramic coating.
Right.
Yeah.
He was in here buying ceramic. I mean, me and him deal with each other back and forth. Like, we're friends.
Y'all joke all the time. I mean, he comes up in the office, where's Dustin?
Exactly.
Yeah, I got to talk to Dustin.
And that's the relationship that I love. And I have it with all of the detailers in our local area and pretty much any detailer that I ever interact with. Yes, we're competitors, quote unquote, but there's more cars than any of us can possibly do. There's more cars than any of us can possibly do.
Well, I think back to a couple of weeks ago, there was a guy who stopped in. He was a Detail Bookie customer. He's a mobile guy here in Mobile. He just moved over and he came in the shop and you guys were talking and he was asking you questions about the difference between different polishers, right? He was talking about the Rupes. He was talking, what was the other one? I don't remember that.
So you got the rotary and you got the DA, and he was looking at the difference of it. He was going to go buy a DeWalt rotary, which we use here all the time.
Yep.
I have a Rupes that we're switching over to on our rotaries. And I'm like, look, dude, hold them side by side. Okay. This one weighs 8 pounds. This one weighs 4.
Yep.
You're going to tote this thing around all day. Trust me, you want the Rupes. And that's some of the transition that we're making here in our shop, but that's the information that I'm talking about, helping these other detailers. And if you're like so concerned with hiding everything from them, you're really fighting a battle that you're not going to win anyway.
Yeah.
Why not embrace it? And make it better for yourself.
I mean, Dustin, you're such a humble guy. I know you hate it when we brag on you and talk about some of the things that you do, but I want people to know how you genuinely want to help these guys, right? So talking about this guy who came over here, we're comparing 2 different tools. I mean, he was explaining that he doesn't have a shop. He's a mobile detailer.
Right.
That weekend, I think we were supposed to have like the worst weather we had in a while. And he had to cancel or move some jobs. And it was just such a thing where you were like, hey man, we don't use the shop on the weekend. Let me know. Why don't you come use it?
Of course. Of
you know what I
course.
mean?
Yeah.
And so it's not really competition. It's, hey man, this is an
How can we
industry.
help?
We've got to help each other out.
How
Let's
can we
grow together.
Well, listen, I may be tied up on a job out in Mobile when my crew may be out there and not be able to get finished with the job. We may need some help. We may need to call him up and need some help. So why not offer that help to him? Because there's a chance that we may need it sometime, or just to see him better in himself and better in the industry, you know, rather than turning down jobs and all that. Come use the shop, dude. We're not going to be here.
Yeah.
What's it going to hurt? You know?
It doesn't hurt anything, you know. And speaking of training, this was a training that we had with Rupes. Talk to us a little bit about this training and last year and how it went, what we do there.
Oh man, it was absolutely wonderful. So Rupes comes out at least once a year for us, and they train on their equipment. So we invite all the local detailers out here to come in and do a training event to teach them how to use the equipment, how to use the pads, how to use the polishes, all that stuff. And it's just phenomenal to see everybody coming in under one roof. S&N Products helps us out putting it on. They come out and they're a big supplier of ours. And, you know, it's just a great event. You know, I know I've been talking about training for weeks and weeks. And, you know, it's just wonderful when Rupes comes out. My guys always love it. You know, it don't matter how long you've been in this business, you can always learn something. And
That's
I know
right.
Detail Billy can speak to that too.
We definitely can.
Are we going to go ahead and bring him on and let's see what he has to say?
Yeah.
I know he's going to probably want to join in on the online booking conversation. I know he's going to talk about training and all. So let's bring Detail Billy on.
Hey, hi guys.
Hey,
All
that's a
right,
nice
gotcha.
looking hat you got on there,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you very much. You know what I got?
What's going on?
Not much, you know, just kind of hanging out and pretty excited to be with you guys today.
I'm digging that banner behind you.
Yeah, how you like that?
That looks
I love that.
Yeah, that looks really good. That looks really good. Hey, so, you know, you probably noticed Ryan's not here today. I know he's a good friend of yours. Y'all got a great relationship. So just pass it around the shop for, you know, you guys to keep him in your thoughts and prayers. He's dealing with some family stuff right now. And he's
Certainly.
really missing being here. Yeah. So anyways, we were having conversation before you came on about online booking. And that's going around the industry right now on how does it work? Like, is it possible for your customers to book online? And I know that you can probably speak to some to that because you offer online booking, right?
Most certainly I do.
How is that going for you?
Well, actually, if you would have asked me a few months ago, I would have said that I'm a pen and paper kind of guy, and I don't think that stuff works.
Yeah.
I started using Detail Bookie. I think we're into our 14th week, and our sales are over 500%.
Wow. That's phenomenal.
That's no lie.
God, that's awesome.
That's such a
That's
crazy
awesome. That gives me
number.
chills.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know, and that's we experienced the same thing, and it's trying, you know, we've got a lot of guys that are on the software, and of course, you know, we're not here to just talk about software at all. We want to really talk about online booking
and your training
and
too.
training and how it helped you. But
we just wanted you to weigh in, right? Because
Yeah.
I know that in the beginning, when we started talking to you about online booking, you just mentioned that you were a pen and paper kind of guy. I just wanted you to weigh in a little bit about the whole, you know, apprehension of it and really what made the difference for you. And now you're seeing the difference. I just wanted you to speak to that for just a second before we dive into your training for these guys that are tuning in, that are listening, you know?
yeah.
Really, the professionalism that is actually brought to my business is the biggest thing that we like. Even if a customer comes in and doesn't go to our website, which is pretty a lot lately, because we have a traffic light that sits outside of our house, 14,000 cars stop at it daily. We got people out all day. So we got our general manager, Stephanie, who's my daughter, of course. She walks out with the iPad looking all cute, rings them in every time. So the biggest thing I like about it is I don't have to sell the customer anymore. The customer has it in front of them. We have our iPad. We're showing them, you know, face to face. There's professionalism of not just a piece of paper or anything like that. You know, it's right there in their black and white in their face. They kind of scratch their head and look at you a little bit, and they're, well, we're more honest about it now that we're in front of you. It is a little dirtier or this or that.
Yeah.
Most of the time, we don't even have to upcharge them because people are being more honest about their vehicles instead of calling over the phone and going, well, yeah, it's not that bad. And I'm sure all of us detailers have heard it's not that bad.
everybody has heard that. And you know, that's the truth. I think some of the myth out there is customers are just going to go in there and plug in whatever they find the cheapest package. It's just not the truth, man. We book a lot of jobs here at my shop, and the customers are honest. They pick what they really want. I mean, they're able to shop the prices at a whole and then pick what they think is going to work for them. They know that they got to bring the car in. So what good does it do to sit there and blow a lot of smoke if they know that they're going to bring it in anyway? Yeah,
that's true.
That's exactly it.
So for the guys, the people that are watching that don't know you as Detail Billy, tell us a little bit about you. Like, how long have you been in business? How did you get into business? Just give us a little background so that way our audience can know who they're talking to and listening to.
Well, I started when I was about 15, detailing cars. My aunt ran a company over here in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. I rode my bike there, and my parents didn't really know about it. So I was driving up there after school and going to work every day. I loved what she was doing. I helped her out on the weekends as a young kid. And my family are two things in this world. We're either carpenters or we're detailers. Well, I can't read a tape measure, so here I am.
Wow.
So I've been in business. I've been in business about 26 years. I owned a previous detail company, and then we do a lot of wholesale work. My dealer out, and then we started this other company because I tried to go work for someone else again, and that just didn't work for who I am.
Right. That's tough to do. You know, when you've ran your own business, and matter of fact, Lexi can speak to that. When you run your own business, it's really hard to come back in and make that transition. So I can see why you ended up back on the other side, and I think you guys are doing a heck of a job out there doing retail detailing. That's what you kind of mainly focus on now.
Yes,
so explain to our viewers your difference in your details, because I know you do retail and commercial, and I want to make sure when we're referring to them, they understand what you mean by that.
Well, we do a lot of. My company was strictly wholesale, and then retail was a few a month. Just people who would come to who I was and stuff like that. So we average probably close to 300 cars a month as a company.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one or two a day. So, but then we moved into this facility with a different game plan and business plan, and actually worked out really well for us because on top of that, we went from doing one or two retails. We're averaging 5 a day now.
Nice.
Wow,
man, that's fantastic. And location has a lot to do with that, right? Where you pick to open this business is leaves you the ability to draw those in, right?
Correct. But that's not what's drawing them in. Detail Bookie is what's drawing. I booked I was actually, when I came down to CEO in Alabama, I had people booking at 4:30 in the morning. I still have people booking 5, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Every single day, I have at least 2 people booking while I'm sleeping. I wake up and I go
in the middle of the night.
I'm getting a restaurant here.
And I know Detail Bookie, awesome. You attribute us to helping you bring customers in. We're talking about training, but I think one of the huge things of what brings your customers back is how you train your employees. So let's talk a little bit about that, Billy. How is it to train somebody who has absolutely no detailing experience? What's that like?
In my opinion, it's actually better. I wish I could find a few people who just had a clean slate. A lot of detailers have a lot of bad habits that don't fit. And habits, what I mean by that is not necessarily a bad thing they're doing. It just doesn't fit what I'm looking for in my business.
We call it learned behaviors, right? Learned
100%
from previous experience.
Yep.
100%. So they having a clean slate is actually much better for us in our opinion.
Yeah, and that's exactly the approach that I take. I mean, it's been, out of all the people that we've hired here at EZN and had come through the shop, very few have actually come to us with real experience. Mm-hmm. You have some that, that kind of claim the richest car wash, I sprayed wheels off as the detailer experience. And those are fine too. You need guys, you need people that want to work.
Right.
And that is the necessity or the trait that they need to bring. No skills, the willingness to work, and that, and the attention to detail doesn't hurt at all.
Yeah. Right.
But it's tough, and we can relate on that same level. I'd much rather somebody come in that doesn't know anything that I can teach our methods and our processes than have someone come in that's, but we did it this way for 10 years and this is the way I do it. That conversation's always a little bit tougher. What kind of tools? I know what we use here at our shop to train our guys. What kind of methods do you use to train up new employees? I mean, do you just stick them with somebody experienced, or how do you go about that?
Actually, I do all the training myself because
nice.
A certain way. I know what my customers want is the biggest thing. I'm lucky to have over half my shop is actually my family. My nephew works for me.
That's cool.
My daughter, my brother. So I can actually put someone, after I train them, then I go and they see how each of my other, family members do it, which is really nice as well. And majority, they do it my way. When the boss is not looking, we'll try to do something, this or that. But for the most part, training is the very biggest part. I train every single person, no matter if they have experience or not. This is how Akron Pro Detail does it. This is what my customers are looking for. Because you can go to 10 different detail shops and they're going to want 10 different things no matter what it is.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, process is key too. I know Lexi can speak to process a lot, and we do that. We develop the way that we do things, and we try to teach our employees and show them that way. That way, it works for multiple reasons. But when you come up to a job and if you do things the same way every time, you kind of know where they're at, based on the location of them or based on where they're at in the job, and then it's reproducible. So if something's getting missed, you can kind of figure that out along through the process. And it's not just, oh, well, I do that because that's what I chose to do today. We do that.
And I think it leads to the accountability, right,
Mm-hmm.
Billy? I know that those are the hardest conversations as an owner, as a boss to have is, you're setting these expectations in training and what you expect of them. But it's the conversation of when those things are missed or, they're overlooked or that expectation, that quality didn't meet your bar. It's how you hold those people accountable.
How I hold my guys accountable when I actually send it to Dustin, I actually have a checklist and it's pretty thorough. So my guys have to sign it on every single car they do. It goes on the windshield and we collect them and we circle what was, either missed or not done to our, special,
to your standards. Yeah.
To our standards. And then at the end of the week, we have a team meeting and we kind of show them, hey, we need to catch up on this. Something like easy as window lips or wheel lips, or hey, you didn't, roll the car, those wheels, or you didn't do your exhaust tips, or
gas cap.
Touch the visor after it was clean. You touched the visor with your dirty fingers.
Yeah. I'm glad to know I'm not the only one that goes through those things. I hear these things coming up and I'm like, man, these are all things that I've been in our meetings and complaining about. Like, guys, come on, streaky windows, or gas cap. Like, come on, man, you're a detailer. It's part of the process. But those things never change. It's always.
And they're important.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're absolutely important. Because I can tell you, the customer pays good money to have his car detailed, and he goes down the street to fill it up, and the next thing he opens it and it's all dirty and greasy. He's coming back. And if you don't come back, you're in real trouble because you go into Facebook to blast you.
That's right.
And like we want to take listen, aside from all that, we want the customer to be happy.
Yep.
That's at the end of the day, the customer's got to be happy. Anybody that leaves this gate out here needs to have a smile on their face, and it's our job to do so. And so getting those things right are important.
So when you're training your guys, Billy, what do you think the most important thing that they take away from your training that they carry with them every day is?
I
know that was a tough one, right?
Attention to detail. Guys,
huge.
My guys get down and get dirty in these seats, and you'll see through our Facebook page, those are all pictures that are taken by our new media guy. He actually is taking pictures of us doing stuff, and the stuff that we're not posing for these are all live pictures. Right. We're actually getting down and getting into the car. I got my guys under seats, under, rear seats, nook and cranny we try to hit. I hold my guys to a higher standard.
I was hoping you brought up the new media guy. So when I brought in our production team and started bringing cameras around our guys, they were apprehensive at first about being on camera, but it kind of gives them that sense of time in the spotlight. How is your shop welcomed that new your media guy around? Are they handling it well? Are they uncomfortable, or is it just everyday work for them?
They're doing really, really well, in my opinion. Pictures
Awesome.
are great. He's doing a great job. I've known my media guy since he was young. So he's actually a good friend of our family and doing a really good job for us. My guys are just kind of, work as just keep going and just
Business as usual.
Act like they're not there. That's kind of what we've done. Just keep it, just keep it moving, do what you would normally do. And the professionalism comes out. It's when you try to fake it or you're trying to, position yourself to look better. That's when it looks awkward. And
I think it adds another layer of attention too, right? If you
Sure.
know that what you're doing and your work is being recorded and it's going to be out there for anybody to see, I think that standard, that level of expectation of what clean
100%. It is actually
a whole nother level.
It definitely has stepped up their game for sure, which is really nice for me as well.
And I think detailers can take a lot from that, learning how, because, another topic in this is how to hire, how to grow. And we talked about that a little bit last week.
Mm-hmm.
But, these are things that as you grow, you're going to experience, how to teach your guys, when you bring in a media guy,
That's right.
what to expect from that, the fact that you're going to be on camera, you're going to be on these posts, you're going to be a big portion of our marketing.
Mm-hmm.
You need to look professional. You need to look the part.
You got to have the buy-in of the brand. You are the face of the brand.
And man, y'all's posts, they've looked fantastic. They always look great before, but man, they've really came a long way too. And to see the video and it's just so engaging. I love to see your post now. And I'm so proud of the growth that y'all are doing out there. It's inspiring to me. It makes me want to continue our growth here and refining our processes and stuff. We do that every day, but to see detailers like you out there killing it and continuing to grow and all, it's really inspiring.
Billy, the other morning when you shot Dustin that text message, we were in the middle of our Detail Bookie staff meeting.
Yeah.
And when you were sending over the messages about what the software is doing, those are the things that motivate us to do what we do every day, to reach out to business owners and say, hey man, we're helping guys just like you. We just want a couple minutes of your time to discover, can we help? And getting messages from you telling us how we've helped your business and how your business is growing. It's just a motivation to go out there and help all these other business owners as well.
We definitely appreciate Detail Bookie for sure. It's definitely stepped up our game. Knowing our area, we're getting more and more people just coming in. I have 9 detail shops within 3 miles of me. We're the only one busy to, and my guys are at work right now hammering them out. And you know what? If it wasn't for Detail Bookie, we definitely wouldn't be this busy. So we do appreciate you guys 100%.
We appreciate you. So that just real quick, you have 9 detail shops within 3 miles. How did you handle the price shopping? So when you put your booking site online, obviously all your competition can go see your pricing. Was that an issue for you?
Only competition I have is Billy.
There you go. There you go. I love it. I love it, man. I'm so glad you said that. So software, we asked this question to all of our guests and we kind of finalize our time with you with this question. Where do you see software? Like what impact do you see software having on on the detailing industry? What do you think it's going to do for our industry? Not just specifically Detail Bookie, but software in general.
What I'm hoping that it actually brings a little more notoriety to auto detailers as professionals. The problem for many, many years, as you know, Dustin, is we're the guy with 2 buckets. We wash cars.
Yep.
Anyone can do our job. Software is actually showing people that we're becoming more professional. I'm a member of the IDA. All my guys by the end of the year will be IDA members, which is, another part of professional.
Huge.
So in my opinion, I think software is definitely going to change and bring a little more professionalism to the industry.
Yeah, we feel the same way. And I think, when I started this thing, one of the main issues was pricing, and love to see some standardized pricing going in where you can compare apples to apples and everybody's not just so far apart on what they offer. And also that's kind of where my thoughts were on that. Listen, we're going to wrap it up, man. I can't wait to see you. You're going to be out at the SDC, right?
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
What you eating for lunch, Billy? We're going to be having some food from the local pub right down the street, Lucky's. What you doing for lunch?
We're going over to the Main Street Saloon right across the street and having a burger.
Heck yeah, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Beer for lunch on Fridays or no?
Come on now. You know what I do.
Love it. Love
Awesome.
it. Hey, man, appreciate your time. Thank you. You're awesome as always. We really appreciate all the support that you've shown us. You've been an awesome friend, an awesome business partner. Can't wait to see you out at SDC. I know Ryan's
so much fun. I'm so ready to see you and your team.
Hey, don't worry. I also got a surprise for you guys when we get to SDC. So you guys be looking for it.
Yes.
Should we be scared?
You'll never guess.
I'm nervous, but I'm excited. I'm so excited.
It'll be something that's really awesome. I promise.
All right. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time. And
all right. You guys have a great day.
Well,
all right.
Dustin, I know you're super hungry.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? We were supposed to have Lucky's, and, sometimes, guys, things don't work. But let's talk about what we're doing at Easy In at our detail shop. Today is Customer and Employee Appreciation Day. We've actually got a tent up front where we've got a bunch of apparel out there. All of our team inside is eating pizza. So we were going to go to Lucky's and have that. That kind of fell through, but we've got some pizza here, and maybe we'll have Lucky's another day this week. But employee appreciation, nothing like some pizza.
That's right. Lunchtime still happens, whether it was planned or not. Lunchtime still got to happen. So
eat,
yeah, and we do. So once a month we do this customer employee appreciation. We normally cook burgers for everybody. And my dad actually, he works for us.
We love Mr. Billy.
We love my dad. He always grills the burgers for us. He was delivering a boat this morning, so we got all kind of variables happening.
That's right.
But again, the show must go on, and lunch definitely must go on.
So we're gonna eat this pizza and enjoy it. I'm really looking forward to next week's show too.
I am too. We're gonna have Drake Roberts on, and I know everybody that watches YouTube detailing on YouTube knows Drake Roberts. That's Drake's Mobile Detailing. He's a boat detailer. I think he does some auto too, but mainly a marine detailer out of Pensacola. He's a good friend of mine. He's hosting a training event down in Fort Myers,
in Florida.
And so we're going to bring him on, let him talk about his training event. Then we got something extra special. I'm actually flying down to Fort Myers the next week to go to this
training, and you're going to actually be hosting a little seminar. Yeah, we're going
to talk about what detailing has done for our business and all, and we're going to bring that aspect to it, and what software has done for our detailing business. Right. And also, we got tons of good stuff coming up. Can't wait to see you next week. What is it? Keep your grow up? Is that what we're doing now?
We're gonna talk about your grow up. And guys, I actually didn't want to hop in this trend, but I did. I started a TikTok to kind of show the behind the scenes. I really wanted to show you guys the relationship between Detail Bookie and Easy In, which is our detail shop, and the team that makes everything possible. Yeah. So if you guys want to follow me, it's lexi.detailbookie. I'm gonna have some videos from our day, our pizza day, customer appreciation, and there's a little surprise about what we, the Detail Bookie team, do right before the podcast to really kind of calm our nerves. And it's really fun, and we're open to suggestions about things to do to calm our nerves before the show.
We need all the suggestions we can get on that
and recommend it to us. Okay,
hey, thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
This has been another lunch break play-by-play hosted by Detail Bookie. Join us next week for auto detailing news, interviews, and tastes of the South. See you soon.